It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Stop number 11 on the 2021 tour brings us to the heartland of the United States. For the first time in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, we are live from the Kansas Speedway just outside of Kansas City, Kansas, getting ready to kick off the 11th race of the 2021 season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series, the IronMan 400. Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Wright. 54 laps are on the docket around this mile-and-a-half raceway in the heartland of the United States. And after a pretty chaotic and wild, very wild Talladega race last week, we come just a little bit northwest to the heartland of the United States. I think I've said that about 3 or so times, so I'm going to stop saying that now. Here at the Kansas Speedway for the first time in series history. And it is shaping up to be a pretty good one. Our second mile-and-a-half track race this season. First one was at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. That turned out to be very, very interesting. And we should have a similarly interesting race here at the Kansas Speedway. Jordan Lopez is on the pole in the number 81 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. 5 bonus points go to him towards the championship. And speaking of that championship, take a look and see on the top right hand side of your screen your points after 10 races. Madison Tall has still got a pretty massive points lead over John Andrews, 135 points to the good. Nelson Reeves, John Andrews' teammate, is 10 points behind him. Then it is Durrani and Braden Perez rounding out your top 5. Tristan Allen, Dano Georgi, Mitchell Collins, Cameron Garlington, Aiden McCrow, and Keegan Thompson round out your top 10 in points. But that can easily change here at the Kansas Speedway. We're going in this completely blind, and we saw in qualifying, if I decide to upload qualifying, we saw a fairly big accident, including Josh Williamson, Trey Smith, Will Parrish, and a couple of other drivers. That did not affect their starting position. They start in their respective starting positions here at the Kansas Speedway. Going to get the cars rolling off here. Starting lineup on the left-hand side of your screen, as always, Jordan Lopez starts on the pole in the number 81 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. 5 bonus points go to that 81 team in the championship. Starting to his outside, number 48 is Juan Rodriguez, looking for his first win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Josh Williamson and your Rockingham winner, Keegan Thompson, make up row number 2. Row 3, Brendan Yoba, and 2-time winner in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, Cole Sampson, start in row number 3. Sampson's brother, Riley Sampson, starts right behind him in row number 4. To his outside is the 99 of Madison Tall, your points leader and 2-time winner this season so far. And in row number 5, your winner last week at the Talladega Super Speedway, Logan Williams, starts alongside the 32 of Caleb Rose, who desperately needs a good run in that car, making sure all 40 cars roll off the grid, and they have. KFC Race Report at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Going to be a 54-lap race around this mile-and-a-half raceway just outside of Kansas City, Kansas. Pit window should be between 30 and 35 laps. Should be a single-stop race. and this is the first time the Mission Barbecue Cup Series has ventured here to the Kansas Speedway, and all 40 drivers want to say that they were the first one to win at the Kansas Speedway in the MBCS. Pace car pulls off on the pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick off the middle stage of the season. Lopez and Rodriguez, through the gears they go, and ladies and gentlemen, we're racing in America's heartland. Josh Williamson at the line will lead lap number 1, an additional 5 bonus points to him. And we got a car around, that's Fitzy. And the yellow is not out. Not sure who else was involved. Derek Hamill might have gotten involved, but Zachary Fitzwater going around in the back of the pack. No caution. And he is going to be very, very angry about that. But Josh Williamson opening up to a nice lead here in the 98. Now the battle for second is between the 32 of Rose and Riley Sampson. In the 24, Eric Monaco is 4th. And then rounding out your top 5 after 2.5 laps is Dano Georgi, your Daytona 500 winner back in February. Your pole sitter, your front row sitters have fallen really, really deep in the pack. Lopez is in the middle of a 3-wide situation between Brennan Wilmington and Cole Sampson. And I have no idea where Juan Rodriguez has fallen. Don't even see him in this pack. Oh, no, I forgot. No, he's actually in 6th. So Rodriguez has not really fallen back, but Jordan Lopez has fallen really, really back in the number 81. He's just stuck on that outside lane. The outside lane does not appear to be working here at the Kansas Speedway. And we are showing that right here with Jordan Lopez continuing to lose positions rapidly in that number 81 machine. He is currently 16th after starting on the pole. 3 wide momentarily between Will Parrish, Logan Alexander, and Caleb Rose. Rose will fall back in the 32. And this is all happening behind your top 4 guys who are running single file at the moment. Josh Williamson looking for his first win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. So is Riley Sampson. Both these guys, veterans coming from last year. Same with the 48 of Juan Rodriguez. And all 3 of these guys in the top 3, about to be top 4, are all looking for their first wins of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Dano Georgi won the Daytona 500 earlier this year, and the caution is out. It looks like we had a pretty big incident, which involved Logan Williams in the 17. Is not going to be back-to-back victories for that Hershey's Pontiac. And Nelson Reeves, that's going to affect him in the points. Noah Clifton involved, Dustin Davis. And the yellow flag is out for the first time this afternoon with what appears to be a 4 or 5 car incident. Charlie Davenport, Brendan Yodel involved as well. And that does save Fitzwater just a little bit. We're going to take a look and see what happened to Fitzwater as well. I think these guys are all just trying to figure out what position they are. I don't believe these guys are going to come down the pit road just yet, but just as I say that, it appears that these guys are going to come down the pit lane. Not sure what the deal is here. I think so they can go a little bit further. Ryan Durrani is going to stay out in the 38. And that's honestly a smart move out of Durrani in my personal opinion, because these guys are going to have to come down one more time, and Ryan Benjamin, another casualty in this incident on the front straightaway. Going to follow along here with your current leader of the race, Josh Williamson, in the 98. And it looks like it's just going to be Octane Racing Fuel, gas and go for the 98 car. I imagine that's probably what it's going to be for the majority of the field. Logan Alexander is going to go gas and go as well. And I think all the field is just going to be topping off their fuel tanks. No Hoosier tire has been taken. It looks like the whole field is going to be just get a couple of splashes of Octane Racing Fuel and be out. So not sure what the deal was there. Fitzwater also stayed out in the 9. Actually, well, he's 2 laps down, so he came down the pit lane, so I think he might be coming down this time by for repairs. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is there, but Ryan Durrani was the lone lead lap car to stay out underneath the first caution of the afternoon in the IronMan 400 from Kansas. Let's see what happened to bring out the first caution of the afternoon to spark all this strategy here from the Kansas Speedway. Gonna go take a look and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the afternoon in the IronMan 400 from Kansas. Well, just like at the Talladega Super Speedway last week, 4 wide does not work here at the Kansas Speedway, which is significantly more narrow. Gonna watch the 40 of Dustin Davis make contact with Ethan Lewis. Turns him a bit down the racetrack into the path of the 7 of Nelson Reeves. And Reeves is just going to turn the 40 of Davis around just a bit across into the grass. And then Reeves is going to roughly get out of this decently. Actually, no, he's going to shoot back up the track, try and save it. Nowhere for the 16 of Noah Clifton to go. Clifton pinballs in the 91 of Hamill. Yodel gets caught up in the 26, and then there's where Logan Alexander and Ryan Benjamin get their involvement hard into the safer barrier wall. So it's about a 7-car incident on the front straightaway. And it's going to knock a couple of guys out, and like we said, this does help Zachary Fitzwater a tiny bit, but Fitzy's 2 laps down, so he moves up in the field, I don't know, but could have been significantly worse. Going to do an onboard or two. Then I'm going to show a replay of Fitzwater's incident. I'll get you back to the action here at the Kansas Speedway. Onboard with the number 7 of Nelson Reeves. Davis looks like he's out of the clear and then gets tagged from behind by the 16. Tough break for Nelson Reeves, second in points right now. From the rear end cam of Dustin Davis. Turned around, lazy slide, and right in front of the field. Davis not going to get a good run today at Kansas either. And from the front bumper cam of Ryan Benjamin. That got a little violent there for your last season's Daytona 500 champion. Benjamin knocked out of this one. So 4 wide off the corner. Never works at any sort of racetrack. And just a chain reaction wreck involving 7 guys in this incident. Is going to take out about 3 or 4 of them, including your last winner in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, Logan Williams. Tough break for that 17 team. Try and rebound in 2 weeks at Dover. A tough way for all these guys' competitive days to end, but that's the way the cookie crumbles here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. I'm going to take a quick look at Zachary Fitzwater's incident on lap 1. This was also these guys going 4 wide just about on lap 1, and then Charlie Davenport rear ends the 9 of Fitzy. And this was at the back of the pack, so I guess that's why they didn't trigger the caution. But Fitzwater is going to be very, very angry with those guys going 4 wide on the first lap of a 54-lap race. But that's the way things go in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. I think I've said that a couple different times. And those were your incidences that we've reviewed here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series at the Kansas Speedway. Now it's going to get you back to the green flag racing action here in the IronMan 400 from Kansas. And we're back here at the Kansas Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the afternoon. Take a look and see who was knocked out from that incident. Noah Clifton, Nelson Reeves is going to severely hurt Reeves in the points. Ryan Benjamin and Logan Williams and Dustin Davis all knocked out. 35 cars remain on the racetrack, 32 on the lead lap, with Zachary Fitzwater, Derek Hamill, and Charlie Davenport each a couple of laps down. 38 of Ryan Durrani rolling the strategy dice early on, coming to complete 10 laps in the 54-lap scheduled IronMan 400 from Kansas. Through the gears they go. Durrani, who took the yellow flag in the 32nd position, starts on the front here, and it should be roughly equalizes. Fitzwater brushes the wall just a bit. Nobody took tires. It's just Durrani with a gallon or so less than these guys. So Durrani might try looking to play the strategy game here if this thing goes green all the way, but these guys went 4 wide on the opening lap. I don't think we're going to be going green the rest of the way, especially with a couple of lap guys still to go through. And Derek Hamill, oh, and Ethan Lewis. Lewis turn around in the back. And the caution is out. And what did I say? Oh, a little bit close, too close for comfort between Owen Miles and Fitzy. They're still making a bit of contact, but race back to the line. Not sure what happened to Durrani. Durrani falling back in the 38 just a bit. We're back under the caution flag with Ethan Lewis, another rookie involved in something, going around due to Derek Hamill. And quickly back underneath the caution flag at the Kansas Speedway. Should be a fairly cut and dry situation as Eric Monaco dives down. Now let's see what Durrani does if Durrani decides to come down the pit lane now and lose all of his track position. I think he just got stuck up on the outside. But doesn't appear that anybody is going to come down the pit lane except Durrani maybe. And it appears Durrani's going to come down, including a couple of guys are coming down. Owen Miles, Eric Monaco, Daisy Johnson, Fitzy, Stapleton. I think Stapleton may have made contact. That the hood of that JBL 97 car is a bit crinkled up, but Caleb Rose, Davenport obviously, Landon Smith Jr. 38 is just going to take splash and go. Should be the first car out of here. They're going to have to severely work on that 97. Nope. They just fix the hood like that, and I think he's going to get out ahead of a couple people, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just an optical illusion of that 97. No, there's a tiny bit of damage on that hood, but guys coming down, taking some splash and goes of octane racing fuel. And we'll give the lead back to Josh Williamson in the number 98 for NS Racing. Underneath our second yellow flag condition of the afternoon, let's take a look and see what happened to bring out said yellow flag condition number 2 here in the 11th race of the 2021 season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series, the IronMan 400 from the Kansas Speedway. Pretty cut and dry incident if you ask me. Derek Hamill just moves up the racetrack right into the path of the 79 of Ethan Lewis. Those guys are co-workers in the NOFSRL. So NOFSRL creator on NOFSRL creator crime. Derek slingshots in the outside wall. Looks like Trey Smith gets a piece of that in the 25. And that's going to turn around the 79 of Ethan Lewis, triggers the yellow flag. I'm sure Fitzy's going to love that. I'm not sure what happened to Nathan Stapleton here. Looks like Stapleton may have run into the back of the 90s or the 19 of Tyler Reynolds. I don't know. The world might never know, but what we do know is the 79 of Ethan Lewis goes around on the front straightaway and brings out our second caution of the afternoon here from Kansas. Just one onboard replay for this. Hamill comes up the track and nowhere for Ethan Lewis to go. Turned around and the caution is triggered, unfortunately for Ethan Lewis in the number 79. 4 wide off the corner, like we said, does not work. And Ethan Lewis ultimately paid the price of Derek Hamill being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But that's the way the cookie crumbles here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. And some of these guys that played the strategy game came down and topped off on fuel. But Josh Williamson back out front in the number 98 Powerade Monte Carlo for NS Racing, trying to join his teammate Madison Tall in taking a trip to Body Armor Victory Lane in 2021. He will be your leader when we come back around to the restart in the IronMan 400 from Kansas. And we're back here at the Kansas Speedway, wrapping up our second caution already out the afternoon. Take a look and see who was knocked out from that incident. Nobody was knocked out, but we had actually No, we've still got 32 cars on the lead lap, 35 on the racetrack. Ethan Lewis just on the tail end of the lead lap right there. In the number 79, your top 5 coming back to the restart. The 98 of Josh Williamson, the 20 of Logan Alexander, your highest running rookie. Then it is a duo of rookies behind him, Dano Georgia in the 34. Will Parrish in the 02, his best run of the season thus far. And rounding out your top 5, coming back to green is Juan Rodriguez. All 5 of these guys, 4 out of 5 of these guys looking for their first win of their career. The green flag is back out here from the Kansas Speedway with Josh Williamson with Fitzy to his inside. And I think Derek Hamilton at number 91 is going to become a problem lap car. We saw this with Ryan Benjamin last year at Hillside. And we saw this, I believe, in the 7th season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series with Michael Canto at Talladega, that Spotify car, holding up the whole field. I believe that was season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series then. But now that number 91 of Hamill is holding up that entire outside line. And now he's going to move up a lane that held up your pole sitter, that held up your points leader. Madison Tall still being held up by Derek Hamill. But it looks like they are going to get by him with ease. That got a little close for comfort between Hamill and the 5 of Sampson. 3 wide between Nathan Smith, Riley Sampson, and Ryan Durrani through the corner. Nathan Smith is going to fall back on the outside. Yodel to his inside. I believe Yodel is on the lead lap. Running fairly well for a car with that amount of damage. And now we've got a hornet's nest of activity up towards the front. Juan Rodriguez has lost a little bit of ground on the outside. Charlie Davenport is in the middle of a Buck Racing sandwich. Fitzwater to the outside. And now we've got a 4-car breakaway with a couple of new players. With Cameron Garlington and your Rockingham winner, Keegan Thompson. I believe this is our longest green flag run of the day we have had so far. And I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to contest Josh Williamson. He has led all 20 laps thus far. Actually, no, Ryan Durrani has led 4, so Williamson under green at the moment is the dominant car, and he is pulling away from this trio of, actually only 2 of those guys are Chevrolets, as Will Parrish really wide through 3 and 4. He is going to lose 2nd and 3rd positions, but I think at this point, Parrish just wants a top 5 run, or he'll just take a top 10 run at this point. Parrish has really, really struggled in his rookie campaign. And the same cannot be said for Cameron Garlington. He's had his ups and downs. He's currently 10th in point, somewhere around 10th in points. Zachary Davis and Brendan Wilmington battle for 5th. Wilmington, who should have had that Phoenix race in the bag. That race was quote unquote stolen from him to the from the guy to this outside. Bouchard with an issue in the 07. I'm not sure if he came down the pit lane, but Bouchard is a lap down, so chalk up another car that is off the lead lap in this one. And Hamill is really, really slow on the racetrack, so watch out for Derek Hamill to potentially be a huge hazard in the late stages of this race. But Keegan Thompson with a nice draft off of Josh Williamson. And funny enough, Josh Williamson was almost the guy that cost Keegan Thompson the win at Rockingham. Held him up just a little bit. That allowed Colton Yo, who is Will Parrish's teammate, to close in and almost steal the win away from a very not consistent, but a very hit-or-miss Keegan Thompson. And Thompson moves to the inside right when Hamill's about to get there. And that was a textbook veteran maneuver that Keegan Thompson just did. And Hamill's going to hold these guys up into Brendan Wilmington. Spins in for the pack. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a mess. A lot of cars involved. The field's going to stack in. And it's the big one from Kansas. Tristan Allen up in the air. And it is a junkyard on the front straightaway. Cole Sampson, Nathan Smith, your pole sitter of Jordan Lopez, Dano, Georgia. And that happened at the worst possible place on the racetrack. And the whole middle of the field just got LePaged pretty much. And that was not pretty. Oh my goodness. Derek Hamill is going to be hearing about that for a while. Pretty much LePage the field right there. As the lead lap cars come down the pit lane, I believe they can make it from here. And it has been confirmed that these guys can make it with fuel from here on out if this goes caution-free. So this could be the money... Actually, this is going to be the money stop right here, ladies and gentlemen. Keegan Thompson led them back to the line and destroyed 24 of Riley Sampson. You can see in the foreground there. And that is going to knock out a good half of the field out of contention. You see Cole Sampson, Brendan Yodel with a holy heck of damage. Dano Georgi, they're going to try and repair that 34. But a lot of these guys just came flying in there. I haven't seen a wreck that huge in a while, ladies and gentlemen. It all started when Brendan Wilmington made contact with the 91 of Derek Hamill, and then all hell broke loose. And, oh my goodness. That was huge, ladies and gentlemen. That was huge. Keegan Thompson is your leader after coming to our third caution of the afternoon. We're going to have to take quite a few looks at this one, ladies and gentlemen. That was the biggest wreck of the season thus far. So I said Derek Hamill was going to be a problem car like Ryan Benjamin, and 30 seconds later, that prophecy is fulfilled. Hamill, like what happened with Ethan Lewis, just goes way high on the racetrack. Brendan Wilmington doesn't go high enough, runs out of real estate with the outside wall. And Wilmington is actually able to get away rather cleanly, but Hamill spins in front of the pack. And I thought he was just going to come down the inside, but locks up the tires, makes slight contact with the O2 of Will Parrish. I don't think that's going to affect him all that much. But then this is where the trouble starts. Pinballs right into the 48 of Juan Rodriguez. 07 of Daniel Bouchard is able to scarcely get through, and then Tristan Allen is going to hit him broadside a little bit. That knocks Allen off course into the 0 of Colton Yo. Bouchard is destroyed. Reynolds and Durrani are able to get through, and I think those are the last cars that are able to get through, as Trey Smith just barely clips the 48. Then, this is where everything gets very, very ugly. I think, Cole Sampson, Riley Sampson makes contact with a 32, and then 56 of Tristan Allen is going to go upside down in that 5-hour Energy Toyota Camry, your Richmond winner, and then it is just a log jam at this point. It's easier to say who was not involved, but Davenport, Madison Tall, I think, got scarcely involved. It's just a huge case of ARCA brakes with a lot of these drivers. I think that's Eric Monaco in the 75, Owen Miles in the 05. You see a lot of guys, Daisy Johnson, Brendan Yodel, who ARCA braked into the back of someone, not sure who that is. Both our Island Motorsports cars involved in this one. Nathan Stapleton. Tall is able to clear it. Of course she is. Oh, that girl is Superwoman, I tell you that. And then it is just a junkyard on the front straightaway. Surprised they did not red flag the race. I have not seen that many cars just sitting stationary on a track ever in just NR 2003 in general. And we had a junkyard in the infield last week at Talladega. We've got a junkyard on the front straightaway this week at Kansas. We have got to take quite a few different looks at this one, ladies and gentlemen. But I can say for sure that was a huge one from Kansas, no doubt about it. First on board with Brendan Wilmington in the 62. Hamill runs out of real estate there, and see behind them, the entire field ripped apart. On board with the guy who was responsible for all this, Derek, you fool, comes up the racetrack, gets hit by Rodriguez, hit by a couple other guys, hits by Owen Miles, and the field disintegrates. Tristan Allen on top of him. One final hit from Dano Georgi will seal it. Hamill is not going to be the best friend of many of these drivers after this race. Daniel Bouchard and Juan Rodriguez were the first ones to hit the broadside Hamill, and Bouchard, a hard shot there from Colton Yo. A couple more hard shots. Bouchard definitely taking one of the wildest rides, aside from the 56 of Tristan Allen. One final look with the onboard of Tristan Allen, the only car to go upside down in this incident, almost had it clear. And you see he goes upside down, goes to 56. Thankfully lands back on all four Hoosier tires. A couple more hits for measure. That was a wild ride for your Richmond winner, Tristan Allen, involved. One of the many cars involved in this one. So Derek Hamill has got to be reprimanded for this one. Not sure what he was thinking, but it just happens. Everything just happens so fast. Tristan Allen obviously going for the wildest ride, and then it's ultimately a combination of a logjam and ARCA brakes, unfortunately. And that's what happens when there is a massive accident like that at the front of the field, and the field has just been strung out like it has been. And that's the end result. Unfortunately, quite a few guys are going to be knocked out of this one. And like I've been saying all race, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Keegan Thompson is your leader of whatever pack we've got left. And it's just going to be crawl to the end here at the Kansas Speedway, unfortunately, for a lot of these guys. And we're back live here at the Kansas Speedway, wrapping up a massive, massive third caution of the afternoon. Take a look and see who was knocked out from that incident. Derek Hamill, Daniel Bouchard, Charlie Davenport, Daisy Johnson, Caleb Rose, Owen Miles, Juan Rodriguez, all knocked out. Actually, no, Zachary Fitzwater is a lap down, but Colton Yo, Nathan Smith, Tristan Allen, Brendan Yodel, Cole Sampson, Riley Sampson, all knocked out from that lap 25 incident, I believe. 22 cars remain on the racetrack, 21 on the lead lap, and that has severely helped Fitzwater, but Thompson, Garlington, McCrow, Logan Alexander, and Josh Williams in your top 5 coming back to green. Hopefully we can have a little bit of a green flag run, because I think Fitzwater is not going to be as slow as Hamill, but I think he is still going to hold up these lead lap cars just a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be as big of a nuisance. We might go 4 wide again here. It's going to be tight off the corner. They stay together for now. Fitzwater just got to get down to the inside and let these guys pass, because we're going to quickly have a 4th caution if he does not. And like I said during the wreck review, 99 of Madison Tall, she is Superwoman, avoided that wreck with ease. And Nelson Reeves did get knocked out earlier, but John Andrews is still in this thing, so she's going to have to deal with John Andrews in this. We're back up to the front end. It's not an NOFSRL sanctioned race without us missing a pass for the lead. But Keegan Thompson is going to get that lead right back from Cameron Garlington. And Garlington's got a teammate, Logan Alexander, looking for his first win in his maiden season in the NBCS. Same with Braden Perez. And it's just been one of the many sub-stories of this season, how strong this rookie class has been. Rookies currently run 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th, and 10th. It's just a testament to how strong these rookies are in the early going of this season. And the fact that they've been managed to be this strong 11 races in is just it's quite incredible. But Keegan Thompson, the all-time winningest driver in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, looking for win number 6 to extend that lead. Garlington wants to spoil that party, and Alexander is going to be under fire from the 92 of Perez. We are past the halfway point in the IronMan 400 from the Kansas Speedway, well past the halfway point, I should say. So we shouldn't have any more mishaps here from Kansas. Keyword shouldn't. Keegan Thompson just looking to ride this one out for his 2nd win of the season to tie Madison Tall with the most wins this season. But Garlington is looking to change that, and anybody in this pack is looking to change that. One of the guys that is in this pack that we have not really talked about a whole lot this season, Tyler Reynolds, made the chase last year, won the second race of the Hillside doubleheader last season. Moved over from SF Premium Motorsports, who folded in the offseason, to Buck Racing. Currently battling for the last podium position, but might fall outside the top 4 here soon. He does have a teammate with him, Mitchell Collins in the 78, who is currently 8th in points right now at the moment. We have not... as of the last Talladega race, as of Talladega last week, Collins is 8th, and a good run like this could move him up in the points, with guys like Nelson Reeves and Tristan Allen and Dano Georgi having their issues. But Thompson, trying to lead the most laps here from Kansas, is on the path to do so. I'm not sure if Madison Tall is a lap down. No, she is not. They are just outside the top 10. She's 12th right now, so not the run she would have wanted, but it's a decent run nonetheless. John Andrews is 15th at the moment, so John Andrews might close in just a tiny bit over Madison Tall's lead. No, I think Madison Tall is going to extend it back up to the race for the lead. And now we're going to catch up to Nathan Stapleton. More lap traffic coming into play. Stapleton just trying to grind out the race. And now there's 20 cars left on the lead lap, and Keegan Thompson is just going to say bye-bye to you guys. Reynolds and Parrish move by for second and third respectively. And we might have another accident here soon. If Stapleton just doesn't let these guys pass, he moves up to the outside. That's going to hurt the 20 of Logan Alexander, and that moves up Madison Tall into the top 10, I believe. Tall says thank you very much to her boyfriend. And Stapleton, the big staple, having a big problem this season. Keegan Thompson, the number 14 Viagra car, with 15 laps to go, in position for his second win of the year. Reynolds and Parrish, I think these guys, the guys through second through fourth, just want a decent run with 15 laps to go. Parrish and Reynolds especially. Parrish just wants a top 5 run at this point. He's going to try and do everything he can, but I don't think he's going to try and do anything drastic in that 0-2. But Keegan Thompson, let's see what the intervals were that time by. He lost 0.07 of a second to Reynolds. But that's because he's got a draft car behind him drafting, and now those guys are going to cancel each other out, going side by side for the moment. We might see some more lap traffic before this one is concluded. Fitzwater's losing time, so are Georgia and the 79 of Ethan Lewis. All three of these guys have had a rotten day here from the Kansas Speedway, but Keegan Thompson is loving what he's seeing right now. But Will Parrish, closed in 1/10 of a second last time by, has gotten around the 19 of Reynolds. Now let's see if Parrish can run down that 14. We'll see what the intervals are this time by. There's Keegan Thompson at the line. There's Parrish at the line. Oh, Parrish has knocked down another 0.15 of a second, so I think Parrish might be a bit faster than Thompson right now. He's within his draft, and with 12 laps to go, we might have a nice battle for the lead. Fastest lap belongs to the 0 of Colton Yo, Will Parrish's teammate. I believe Yo is out of the race. Yes, he is. 17 laps down. The interval that time by, another couple, another 10th clicked off from Parrish. But that's because he's got the drafting help from the 19 of Reynolds, and now he is within the 14's draft, and he is slowly but steadily reeling in the 14 of Keegan Thompson. And with 10 laps to go, Thompson has got to start thinking about playing defensively here. He wants to get his second win of the season, but Reynolds doesn't care about Will Parrish right now. He wants to get up to the front and potentially steal this win away, but Parrish is closing rapidly on the 14 of Thompson, coming around to 9 laps to go. We might see lap traffic. Stapleton may come into play. Remember last week at Talladega, lap traffic did come into play with Brendan Yodel making contact with Braden Perez on the final lap. Parrish goes wide through the corner. Reynolds to second. McCrow looking for his second win of the season as well. He's going to try and move to third with Will Parrish. And Parrish is like, okay, if I don't DNF at this point, I'll take what I can get. Garlington is going to move to the inside of Parrish and spin him around through the grass into Garlington. Garlington hard in the wall. Oh, Josh Williamson. Braden Perez. A huge hit for Garlington. Yellow is out. And I'm not sure if that's going to end the race or not, but that is the last thing Keegan Thompson wanted to see. Andrews out. Garlington out. Josh Williamson destroyed. And so is a 92 of Perez. Commentator's curse, I tell ya. And Madison Tall will extend her points lead even more. But, goodness gracious. Now we're going to see if these guys come down the pit lane to potentially, change their tires. Tires are fairly worn, but I think everybody should be staying out. Nobody's going to roll the dice now. Not even the 0-2 of Will Parrish, who went spinning across the racetrack. Garlington came up with a huge head of momentum, could not control it, and that could have been a lot worse for Will Parrish, but Madison Tall, people who are against Madison Tall, unfortunately, she is going to have a massive points lead after this one. Andrews, Reeves, Durrani might close in a tiny bit. He might move his way up to second in points at this rate. But Perez, Allen, Georgi, all of her competition inside the top 10 in points have been taken out. And I believe we should get a green flag finish. But that was a massive shot that Cameron Garlington took from Josh Williamson. Fourth caution of the day. The record is 7, but it's been a chaotic race here from the Kansas Speedway. Nonetheless, Keegan Thompson is your leader. Going to take a look and see what happened to bring out the fourth caution of the afternoon in the IronMan 400 from Kansas. So like what we were seeing a lot today, just these guys sliding up through the corner. Garlington with a huge head of momentum just snags the quarter panel of the 0-2, roughs up that BWT logo just a bit. Trey Smith is to the outside thinking, oh God, here we go again. Do not come up the racetrack rapidly. Smith is able to get by. And Garlington, it looked like these guys were going to save it. Smith is like, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. But Parrish does a lazy slide and then gets right back in the 28 of Garlington, knocks him hack-eyed to the racetrack. Or, perpendicular, I should say. Parrish with a decent shot to the safer barrier wall. And then, oh, the freight train is coming, the freight train is coming. Durrani is able to scarcely avoid, but nowhere for Josh Williamson to go. And then Garlington is going to ricochet from the safer barrier into the path of Braden Perez. Just nicks Perez. Same with the 46 of Andrews. And then up in the air goes flying the 28 of Garlington. Nowhere to go for the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. His poor season continues, but I don't think he's going to be knocked out. Yellow flag obviously triggered, and that's going to definitely affect the running order of this race. But Josh Williamson led some laps, had a strong run going for him in the 98, and all that is gone out the window in this one, unfortunately, for that 98 team, and unfortunately for a lot of these guys, especially Cameron Garlington and John Andrews. Front bumper of Cameron Garlington up the racetrack into the 0-2. And looks like he's going to save it, but then cannot get there in time. And then whammo right there from Josh Williamson. A hard shot for the 28 car. And Garlington, who looked to be in a good points paying position, is going to be knocked out late here at the Kansas Speedway. Well, it could have been a lot worse for Will Parrish. Turned around in late stages by Cameron Garlington. Long lazy slide, gets back into Garlington. Hits the outside wall just a little bit narrowly, avoids getting railroaded by the 1. That could have been a lot worse for Will Parrish. Thankfully, he is still in position for a good top 10 finish. One final look in real time, and Garlington just snags the 0-2 of Parrish. Parrish ricochets back up the racetrack. Garlington right in the path. Zachary Davis actually with a nice quick jerk to the left saved him from being massively involved and making that a lot worse than it was. But 4 more cars to the garage. And thankfully this race only has 5 laps to go, but ladies and gentlemen, that could have been a lot worse, and that was the last thing Keegan Thompson wanted to see out of his rear view mirror. But Thompson will be your leader with about 4 laps to go when we get back to the green flag, I believe. McCrow, Reynolds, and Trey Smith are going to be right behind him. Let's see what these guys do in the late stages up to the finish here in what has been a wild Ironman 400 from the Kansas Speedway. We're back here at the Kansas Speedway, wrapping up our 4th caution of the afternoon. More cars were taken out. Fitzy is still 2 laps down, but he is still inside the top 20. Josh Williamson, Cameron Garlington, Braden Perez, and the 46 of John Andrews join the other quite a few cars in the garage area. It has been a brutal one here from Kansas. As the pace car pulls down the pit lane, going to be restarted with 3 laps to go in the Ironman 400. Going through the Reese's restart zone, Keegan Thompson, Aiden McCrow, 19 of Reynolds, the 52 of Trey Smith, and the 1 of Zachary Davis left in this one. And a nice jump for both McCrow and Thompson, a pair of Monte Carlos trying to steal a win away from a Ford. McCrow still on the back bumper of Thompson, but Thompson has got a really, really good short run car. McCrow falling back just a little bit in the 42, coming around to popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for Keegan Thompson. Leaves the inside open for just a split second. That allows McCrow to move inside just a little bit. We saw McCrow win Atlanta on the last lap pass. Could this be the same? He's closing rapidly on the 14 of Thompson. Right on the bumper of that Viagra Monte Carlo. Lap and a half to go here from the Kansas Speedway. Can Thompson hold on? Can McCrow steal it? Is the 19 of Reynolds in the catbird seat. White flag in the air. One more time around the Kansas Speedway for Keegan Thompson. McCrow trying to steal it. Does he have anything left for Thompson? Thompson moves a little bit high. It's going to allow McCrow to close in just a little bit. Going to move to the inside. He's got a little bit. McCrow to the inside makes the pass off of Thompson and off of turn 4. Aiden McCrow steals another one here from the Kansas Speedway. I think we might have a new Mr. Edge in the NOFSRL. Aiden McCrow leads only 1 lap. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the most important lap. Aiden McCrow wins a wacky race from Kansas. Thompson, oh so close to getting his 2nd win of the season, but it's points nonetheless. Same for the 19 of Tyler Reynolds. I'm not sure what happened to the 1 of Zachary Davis. Might have had an incident there on the final lap. Davis's car looks clean, but Davis will get 4th, Durrani 5th. And Madison Tall finishes 8th. That's going to extend his points lead a ton. But Aiden McCrow in the number 42 steals one here from the Kansas Speedway. We're actually going to make sure who had the fastest lap. Colton Yo. 5 bonus points go to Colton Yo for getting the fastest lap. Take a look and see your finishing results. 12 cars finish on the lead lap. 10 of them without any damage. But it's McCrow, Thompson, Reynolds, Zachary Davis, Durrani, your top 5. Trey Smith, Alexander, Madison Tall, Landon Smith Jr., and Will Parrish, your top 10. And then the holy list of cars that were knocked out. Oh my goodness, more cars were ended up in the garage area than finished. And only 12 cars were on the lead lap when the checkered flag flew. But, holy goodness, holy goodness, holy goodness. Thankfully, we're off a week in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We are off for Mother's Day, I believe. Thankfully, that's going to give these guys a little bit of room to calm down. Oh, who am I kidding? We've got the Ricky Raceway in 2 weeks. Another super speedway. That's just going to be insane on its own. But Aiden McCrow steals one from Keegan Thompson. Just at the right place at the right time. Wins it again on a last lap pass. McCrow joins Madison Tall on winning their second race of the season so far. And now we're going to have to see if Aiden McCrow is in contention for this championship. He is probably going to be one of those guys in contention for the chase. We're just going to have to wait and see as the dust settles as we head to race number 28 from North Wilkesboro, which will cut off the chase for the top 12 guys in points. But that's going to do it here from the Kansas Speedway. That was a wild one, to say nonetheless. That definitely jumbled up the points quite a bit, which will be on your screen in just about 30 seconds. But Aiden McCrow wins a wild one here from the Kansas Speedway. Tune in 2 weeks time from the Ricky Raceway for the second time in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series history. We head north to the Great White North to the Ricky Raceway for the Labatt Blue 500 from the Ricky Raceway. That should just be an animal and actually, no, excuse me. Dover is in 2 weeks. Then we go to the Ricky Raceway. And Dover was an insane race last year, so take it with the greatest salt. But the M&M's 400 is in 2 weeks, and then we go to the Ricky Raceway. So tune in on NASCAR Night 34 in 2 weeks' time for the M&M's 400 from Dover, our third short track. Actually, Dover's not even short track. I don't know what I'm saying, but Dover will be in 2 weeks. We have an off week next week, and hopefully that'll give you guys time to cool down, unwind, and then just chill. That's all these guys need to do. Chill until May 15th when we get back to the action from the Dover Speedway. But that's all I've got. Congratulations once again to Aiden McCrow on winning the IronMan 400. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your points after 11 races. And from the Kansas Speedway, this has been NASCAR Night 34, signing off.